Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel BIM for Construction. So Navis tutorial series we have started and we have discussed in our last episode about the clash detection process, how you can run the clash detection in Navisworks, and then in after that video we have discussed about the reports, also how you can export the HTML report, how you can open that HTML in the Excel, and how you can export it as a PDF. All those we have already discussed. Now in this today episode we will be discussing about what is the clash matrix, okay, and how you can create the clash matrix for your project. So as you can see here, we are having one clash matrix here. So basically, what does the clash matrix mean? First of all, we will be discussing about the basics. So let me show you one image here. So as you can see, if we are working in a project, we are having multiple disciplines like architecture will be there, architecture, model, structure, HVAC, plumbing, electrical. So as you can see here in this file, that is our model, and we did the clash detection also for this one, and we have already shared video regarding this one. So you can see in the selection tree we are having multiple discipline here. Okay, we are having architecture, we are having drainage, we are having firefighting, HVAC, structure, and water supply. So when we are running the clash test, okay, with the help of clash detective window here, we have to mention some clash. It means we have to create some clash matrix here. Let's say in between which discipline you want to run the clash test. Like you want to run the clash test between HVAC versus water supply, HVAC versus drainage, HVAC versus firefighting versus electrical, HVAC versus column, HVAC versus beam. So this set, when you are defining in a clash in a as a clash matrix in Excel, that Excel is called as a clash matrix file. Okay, so basically your BIM manager or the team lead who is doing the BIM coordination process, he needs to prepare such kind of clash matrix for each project. Okay, so he can take the reference from ISO standards or from the BP that is shared by client side. Okay, and after that he can finalize the Excel that is showing the which trade needs to run the clash or need to check the conflicts again, which next element. Okay, so mostly for same file we are not running the clash test. Okay, so as you can see here in the sample also, okay, we need to run the clash between structural versus architecture, structure versus HVAC, structure versus plumbing, structure versus electrical. Now here you can see this is the, we can say, the broader vision of clash matrix. Means directly we are here mentioning that the structure need to check the test with the HVAC, but if you want to go much deeper, then you can also we can say here, you can see the example, we can separate the structure elements in different categories like structure concrete walls, structure concrete columns, structure concrete beams, slabs, foundation, wrecker, beams, and the bleacher precast. Now the let's say if this building, okay, if you don't want to run like structure HVAC versus structure here, simply let's say structure. Okay, you don't want to run the HVAC versus structure, simply you want the more depth clash report. So in that case, what you can do here, as you can see here in the part of a structure, let me show you the structure of this building only. I don't select it, and let me turn the HVAC. Okay, so as you can see here, we are having structure slabs, we are having foundation, we are having columns, we are having beams. So you can categorize it here in the clash window itself, that it will be, the first one will be the HVAC versus structure beam, then the next second one will be the HVAC versus, here you can mention structure column. Okay, so we are going more deep while checking the clash number of clashes, how many clashes. So you can easily know HVAC versus structure column, how many number of clashes, structure beam versus HVAC, how many number of clashes. So this is more depth version, but if you want to go broader vision only, then in that case you can simply utilize this method, structure versus HVAC. But this Excel having more depth, we can say depth details of the number of clashes with the particular element. So this is about the clash matrix that you need to prepare for your project. Okay, so here you can see we are having a discipline. Same disciplines are also written in the column. Okay, so same disciplines are written in the row number 3, same disciplines are written in the column here in the row. Okay, here you can see both datas we are having. Architecture we are having here, architecture we are having here, then facade we are having here, facade we are having here. So this is how you can prepare a clash matrix for your project. Then after that you have to mention the number of clashes. So you can see in the Navisworks how many clashes are there. You can mention those numbers directly here. Okay, you have to mention the date, on which date this matrix is created. Okay, number of clashes, number of count that we are having on that particular date you can mention here. Okay, so basically this is after filling that date. So I will show you a template. A simple template is also there. You can see this set matrix setup. This is template. So what basically it is defining, it is defining that a subcontractor need to run the test between architecture. Let's say if we structure column versus his MEP services, you can see MEP duct here. Okay, so if I will be selecting this one, so with the structure column, subcontractor need to run the clash test with all the MEP services using this. Okay, using this rule. So what is this H-1? It is defining that you have to choose hard option here. When you are running a clash test here, you have to select the hard option here, and you have to run the clash test with the help of 1 mm tolerance. So it is showing you the same data. So if I go here, we have also mentioned in the report, you can see here for H1 you have to run the hard clash with 1 mm tolerance, and if we have mentioned C and if you have given the data, it means you have to run the clearance option. You have to run the test with the help of clearance, and you have to fill that value in the clearance. So this is the template. We can say this is the first template that we have to create. We have to mention the all the discipline in the column and rows. Then we have to mention that in between which services we need to run the clash. If it is not required, you can put the dash or not applicable. And if we need to run the clash, what type of rule we have to define. So we can mention hard clash or clearance clash. Okay, or hard conservative. And if we are running hard, what tolerance we need to keep, you can mention here. Okay, so for clearance you can see here that we have mentioned, because from the MV and LV, in between MV cable and the LV cable we need 250 mm clearance. So contractor need to run this test also. After that these tests are completed, he need to create this Excel and he needs to mention the data, how many clashes are there as per this matrix. So this is all about we can say the clash matrix, how you can create. In this sample also you can see that the architecture versus plumbing, total 10 clashes are there. But if you want to create this Excel more categorized as per the element, then you can create architecture wall, architecture slab, then you can create architectural window, architecture door versus plumbing pipes, plumbing fittings, plumbing equipment. So this is how you can create the clash matrix as per your requirement. After that we have to run those clash tests in the Navis. You will be going to Navis, then you are adding the test here as per your requirement. Okay, so I hope this video clears your doubt about the clash matrix in Navisworks. Thanks for watching.